everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name's Elise. It's so awesome to see you guys here. Thank you so much for stopping in and watching this video. Today we are doing my May TBR. Also say hi to the chicken. She obviously wants to say hi to us. Girl, calm down. I have already filmed this video. However, I have been having such an issue and struggle with my camera focusing properly. The whole last video was completely out of focus unbeknownst to me because this little screen up here is so tiny. I just can't tell honestly until I'm editing. So we are going to try and do a one shot through all the way of this video. We're gonna see how it goes. Wish me luck. I get really chatty when I talk about books because I just love it so much. Anyway, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and join the fam. I make all sorts of bookish videos, reading vlogs, book recommendations, challenges, tags, you name it. And I have a huge list of videos that I am either working on or plan to be working on in the near future, and I'm so excited for everything. And I just want to give a quick shout out and thank you to you guys, because you being here and interacting with me and talking books with me brings me so much joy and passion. It's just so nice to be passionate about something again in my life, and I just have to thank you guys for that, because you help support me and you chat with me and inspire me. Like I said, I talk a lot, so we're just gonna get started. Book that I have that I want to read this May is A Man Called Ove, or A Man Called Ove. I do know that Fredrik, Backman, the author, does not live in America. These are translated books. I have read a few of his other books before, like Back Over Here is Anxious People. I really enjoyed it, so I'm very excited to read this. I do know it just came out as a film, an American film called A Man Named Otto. This is about a man who is not happy with his life. He's a little older, he's lonely, he may or may not have experienced a war, and he just wants things to be done. So I think he may be in the middle of this process when a new neighbor moves in and decides to become his friend against his will. And so these instances keep happening of the neighbors kind of coercing him to be their friends and hang out and join him, and he just kind of gets a new perspective on life. This book reminds me of a book that I really enjoyed reading last year called The Brilliant Life of Eudora Honeysett. It ended up being one of my favorite reads of the year, so I'm really looking forward to seeing a twist on this kind of story. Next we have a very highly anticipated read, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I honestly can't tell you what this book is about. I don't want to know what this book is about. Emily Henry is a one-click author. I don't care what she's writing, I'm going to be reading it because she is our true savior and romance queen. So I'm gonna go into this blind. Then we have Twisted Lies by Huang. I am doing a reading vlog where I read all of the books in the Twisted series. So I've been kind of doing one a month as I read it because I just kind of wanted to space them out. Once it's done, I will link it down below. Twisted Lies follows Christian Harper, who is in security. He's also Reese's past boss from Twisted Games, so it's kind of interconnected. And then it also follows Stella, who is an influencer. If you don't know what the Twisted series is about, it follows these four friends who either met or just kind of starts in college of them being friends. And then I noticed that Huang has a little bit longer of a timeline than some books do. I think it may go into past college. Looking forward to giving this a shot. It's so thick, you guys. It's like almost 400, no, it is over 450 pages. Oof. Okay, next I am going to a book event later this month that I am so excited about. Can you guess who it is? It's Christina Lauren! I am so excited, you guys, but guess who is emceeing the event? Allie Hazelwood. So I get to see 3 of some of my favorite authors later this month. I am so so excited. So this month is the month of Emily Henry and Christina Lauren because I am working to finish their backlist, and one of those includes Love and Other Words. I had been waiting to read this a little bit because I did read Every Summer After and wanted to kind of space it out because I hear they're a little similar in some ways. So I want to read Love and Other Words, which I know is a second chance friends to lovers romance. It also seems very like summery, following Macy and Elliot. I also saw that they have a new cover of this, so I need to read it. Then we have the Soulmate Equation, which is the reason the event is happening because it's for their new book coming out, the companion to this novel called The True Love Experiment. So I have read the Soulmate Equation already in ebook. I borrowed it from my library, but I want to reread it and annotate it, and I'm hoping that I can take it with me to the event and they can sign it because that would be so cool. I'm literally geeking out so much right now. I'm so stoked, and I got a friend of mine to read some of her books and she just finished the Soulmate Equation and loved it, and so I was so happy for her and like excited for us as book lovers to like just chat books about it. And anyway, can you tell I'm excited? I don't know. The Soulmate Equation is kind of sci-fi-esque romance where there is this app where it takes your DNA and it matches you with people and gives you this kind of scale on how well suited you will be in a relationship with this person based on DNA, I guess. And so our main character, Jessica, is a single mom, and she somehow gets kind of roped into giving her DNA for this, and she ends up having a really high score with the owner or creator of the company. They try to convince her to date this guy, but she is a single mom and wants to protect her daughter. She doesn't want to be in the limelight, so they offer her quite a bit of money to fake date him so that it looks really good for the company. And of course it's a romance, so things don't always go as planned. I really loved this book so much. I think I gave it a 4.75 stars. I'm really intrigued to see how I will feel about it rereading it because this was kind of one of my first solely romance books that I read when I was getting back into reading, so I'm interested to see how it's gonna go now that I've read so many more romance books. Okay, a few more Christina Lauren. We have Autoboyography, which is a contemporary YA romance following Tanner. Tanner has finally accepted his identity. He's found a community in his home as a bi boy, and then his family moves. And he's like, I'm not going through this again, so I'm just gonna coast. I'm gonna be under the radar until his friend convinces him to join this prestigious program where they write a novel in a semester. So he's really getting into this, and one of the mentors who wrote a novel and did a really good job the previous semester or the previous year, that's one of his mentors, but it catches Tanner's eye, and so I guess it is the beginning of the autobiography. Also, look at this cover. This cover has always caught my attention, and then I read the synopsis and then I know that I'm gonna love this book. Next is the Honey Don't List. This one looks so funny. There is this couple that works together. They kind of have this amazing empire of businesses and things that they sell. However, they cannot stand each other. So their relationship is basically a sham. Well, both the husband and the wife have people who work under them who do a lot of things to help them, and they're going on a last and final book tour to kind of help their business before they separate and part ways. However, we open to the first page and things obviously do not go as planned because it is a transcript of them at the police station giving a statement about this couple. So it looks really fun. I think it's like workplace romance. I don't know if it's enemies to lovers, but forced proximity. It looks so funny and like a fun idea for the start of a novel. Okay, sorry. I just got my teeth cleaned, so I rewarded myself with coffee. Gotta get started on those coffee stains again. Gotta be worth what I pay for. Okay, so the next book that I had on my May TBR, but now I'm questioning, is Bear With Me Now. From the synopsis, we see a man who has been suffering anxiety attacks after the death of a family member, and he is like an executive in this company, feeling lots of stress, and his sister convinces him to go to a wilderness retreat. Well, upon entering the wilderness retreat, he goes for a walk and gets attacked by a bear and saved by one of the staff members. discovers this chick. I think her name is Darcy. Apparently, while he's there, Darcy comes to believe that Tegan is an alcoholic, and that's why he's at the retreat. He's not. He's just suffering anxiety attacks, but she firmly believes that he is an alcoholic, and then he convinces her later on, after they have kind of fallen for each other, to come back with him and be his sober companion. So I had a friend on Instagram kind of do a whole rant about this. It's making me second guess reading this book, but now I think that I'm just going to have to read it to see what she was talking about too, because now I just need to know. I do love the cover. This is one of those instances where the cover of the book might be, what's the word I'm looking for? Misleading. Okay, the last physical book on my TBR this month is Of Women and Salt. I actually accidentally picked this up. I thought that I was picking up this book, something like The Wives Under the Sea or something like that. But I'm not mad that I got this book, because this is something I think that I would really enjoy, and it's a shorter book, just a little over 200 pages. It talks about women from Cuba and Mexico. It's a portrait of betrayals that have shaped the lives of these extraordinary women. So there's mothers, there's sisters, legacies, memories, and tenacity from women who choose to tell their stories despite those who wish to silence them. So I'm guessing it's a story of possibly immigration, of oppression, of strong-ass women. We love strong women. We love women. I am very interested to check this out. And I love that it's short. I have been on a short book train lately. I used to not like short books, and now I'm like only short books. Okay, so let's look at a few others that I want to get to. Okay, we have some audiobooks. First, we have Tower of Dawn, which I'm actually almost done with. Yeah, so maybe I should take that off my TBR, because I literally have a few hours left to listen to it. This is the 6th or 7th book in the series, depending on where or how you count the prequel. It follows Kale, who is not everyone's favorite character, but I really love his character growth in the story. I'm not going to go into it because it's so far into the series and I could spoil anything very easily for you. So maybe I should say Kingdom of Ashes on my TBR this month, because I'm almost done with it. I have really been enjoying rereading the series, but instead of reading it physically, I've been listening to the series. Okay, next we have The Inadequate Heir, which is the 3rd book in the Bridge Kingdom series. Her 4th and final book in the series is coming out later in May, so I wanted to go ahead and get on with the series so that I can complete it. So I am interested to read that and to finish that series. Okay, I think that's all of the audiobooks, but now we have one ebook, and that is An Unexpected Paradise. I honestly don't even know what this book is about, but I do know that one of my good bookish friends gushed about this book, loves this author, and I fully trust her with any book recommendations that she has. And it's a little beachy, and I'm going to the beach this weekend, so I want to try and check this book out. I do know it's a romance, but that's all I can tell you about it. Okay, so let's talk about a few books that have not released yet. Obviously, we have The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren, which I will be going to that event later this month and receiving the book there. I'm so excited. That follows her friend. I do remember that she's an author. I do remember loving her in the Soulmate Equation, so I'm very excited for her to have her own love story. Then we have Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. She also wrote When in Rome, so it's a companion novel to When in Rome, and it follows Noah's younger sister. I'm so here for it. I describe Sarah's books as just being wrapped in a warm, fluffy, fuzzy blanket. And it's great, like being hit by the rays of sun on a cool day. Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm actually going to pick that book up either later today or tomorrow. Okay, I failed it at one take, but I think I did a pretty good job thus far. But the next book that I want to read that I don't physically own yet, it literally released yesterday, and that is Meet Me at the Lake or Meet Me by the Lake by Carley Fortune. So it is the companion novel to Every Summer After. I don't know if any of the characters interconnect, but I do know that it's the same setting-ish or the same town as this book was in, and I really enjoyed this book. Okay, last one that has not released yet. It's releasing later in May by Juliette, and that is Grim and Barrett, which is the final book in the Stay a Spell series, which I absolutely love so much. It has become one of my favorite series. I cannot wait to collect all of the books physically because I own them on ebook and audiobook right now, but I cannot wait to read this. It follows the final and youngest sister, Clara, who seems very easygoing, very gentle, very kind, and she is all of those, except she does have a little bit of flame in her. Clara has her eyes set on Henry, and what's so fun and has been such sweet torture is that we have seen Clara and Henry as characters from the very first book. So we have seen how they've interacted with the world, how they've interacted with each other up to this point, and everyone has been dying for them to get together for ages. So they finally get their book, but you know, Henry is very resistant because he feels like he has a very dark past. He's a Grimm, and no one really knows what Grimms do, but they know it is maybe a little sketchy. And he's like, you are the light, I am the dark. You are the sun, I am the moon. We are not meant for each other. And Claire's like, we'll see. So I'm very excited to see how it is. It is a very fun, very vibrant book series with larger than life characters, and I have loved it so much. I'm so excited. Also a little bit sad, a little bit bittersweet to finish this series, but I'm so ready for it. Also very spicy series and a very good level of spice in my opinion. I think that's all of the books that I am trying to get to this month. Obviously, I just don't think that I'm going to be able to get to all of these books. Hopefully, I'll try my best, but it is what it is. Comment down below how many of these books you actually think I'm going to get to out of these 16 books. I would love to know how many you think I'm going to get to, and then we'll find out at the end of the month how many I do end up getting to. Thank you so much for watching. You guys literally make my day anytime you click on my video or like my video or leave a comment. Anyway, I am going to go edit this video really quickly if I can. I hope you are doing well wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Sending you all the good vibes. Mwah!